take you back.
Tune into the Sunday Freestyle Spectacular every Sunday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Yo, man, what's up? It's your boy, DJ Energetic, and tune into the Sunday Freestyle Spectacular every Sunday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, exclusively on DNA Radio 93.7.
What's going on, everybody? You already know it's your boy, DJ Energetic, here with Althea.
Hello, everybody.
Shout out to all the sponsors. Shout out to Hype Magazine. Shout out to
Maverick Global Distribution. Don't forget them.
As one as 104.9, as one as KCD AB8.
That's right.
Los Angeles. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I say it, please? Can I do it for okay? Because I've been excited all this time for this. So we're talking here with the multi-platinum recording artist and dance music royalty is in the house.
Oh my.
This is Jeanette Jurado.
It's Jurado with like almost like a TH. Jurado.
Jurado.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Okay, bravo. Because before we started, I was telling her that, you know, that I am very excited only because I grew up with her.
Okay.
Back in the 80s, in the mid 80s. Okay. So we're talking like, you know, when we were in college and we did the summer things and stuff like that. And my brother was a DJ at the time. And I cannot tell you how many times, no matter what he played, one of the very first songs that he would play was Exposé. Always, because all the people wanted to hear it. That was their go-to song, you know, Point of No Return, Come Go With Me. You guys had all these great hits, and we grew up with them, and then, you know, it didn't matter where you went. If you went overseas, and when I went to Greece, I heard you everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I was living in Australia for 5 years. I heard you there. You know, you guys were just...
That's awesome. That's great. I've never heard anybody say that before, but that's really cool.
Remember how we always say when we invite guests and everything, they have always like the background that I'm always like loving it, right? Okay. Well, she's making me loving it more, okay? Because I heard that she was like influenced by Barbra Streisand and the Carpenters, right? Yeah, I was like, this is the woman. This is why me and Jeanette, we connect.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you a sucker for the ballads too, like me?
Oh my God,
I'm such a sucker for ballads. It's ridiculous.
Well, what's your favorite with Barbra Streisand?
Oh my gosh, I was just listening to her today, actually.
Really?
Today I go into different parts. You know what I mean? Like I have like the Barbra Streisand when I was young, and listening to My Name Is Barbara and all that stuff. Today I was listening to my early '80s Barbara, which was the album Superman and the album Wet, and you know, being that awkward teenage years where you're crushing on boys, and all those songs take on so much more meaning. And, you know, How about you? What's your favorite?
Evergreen. It's always going to be Evergreen, and The Way We Were.
I was going to say The Way We Were.
You know,
I was going to say that, but
no, you weren't. You were not going to do that.
Well, going to see A Star Is Born, I remember going with my mom and my aunt and my sisters and cousins. We all went. And that just, I mean, seeing Barbara like that on stage and all those live performances, it was my dream to see her live one day.
Yeah, and even the Carpenters, too. I mean, they had such great hits as well, but they were such a good duo, you know?
Oh, they were. Well, I mean, you know, brother and sister, they automatically sound great together.
Yeah, so, and we don't get that anymore.
We don't get those like really lush arrangements too that Richard was so famous for, right? You know, and then what I think I've said this before, but when I listened to Barbara and I listened to Karen back in, you know, the days, I used to practice with them, you know, with my record player, and I used to practice taking breaths when they took breaths,
right? Yeah.
Because I figured if I could like hold my breath as long as they could, or hold the note as long as they could, that was like my training. You know, in my room. And now, you know, with all the computers and everything that they do, they take out all the breaths. I never hear anyone breathing anymore.
That is so true.
It almost sounds robotic because you're not hearing the human, you know, natural, you know, breath in and out or whatever when you're, you know, gonna
like even like when Elvis Presley sang, you're right, you would hear him breathing.
Oh yeah, of course,
all the time.
Yeah, but that's that's a lot of music nowadays is very, you know, is basically controlled with digital. So it's kind of like it doesn't have that real organic feel.
Yeah.
Right. And I think maybe sometimes when, when you're my age or you grew up listening to all those old records, that there's something different, but you can't put your finger on it. You know what I mean? And sometimes not only listening to digital, but the way that it's recorded, and the way that they take out all those little human things, it's missing something, it's missing something.
I play a lot of songs on radio. Like we're gonna be putting this on like one of the premieres when we get the Miami channel.
Oh, great!
Yeah. So right there in there. So you're gonna be the first one that I'm gonna put in because you're dope. I love it. What I'm trying to say though is me being, listening to the oldies, right, with the vinyl to now was kind of like watered down.
Yeah.
Because back then you would actually feel the period of time. Now everybody's just trying to mix up a bunch of words and put something together. And sometimes it's a classic and sometimes TikTok dance, or just sometimes it's just here. And then you see so many trends leave so fast now. Now we don't have time to sit there and actually grasp it and like really hold it anymore. Like freestyle, you'll always hold it because that's a period of time of music. Now we're seeing this new music coming in, and this new music that just came in, now it's gone.
Yeah. It feels like that sometimes, it does. It feels like that sometimes. I think probably much of that is the loss of the actual, listening to the entire album.
Absolutely.
When you know what songs would come next, and you just learn to fall in love with that artist, and listening to that catalog of, the LP just kind of brought you closer. It seemed like, the whole concept of an album seems to almost disappear. I mean, you still have your artists like Beyonce and Taylor Swift that are still doing those. And I think that's why they sell so well. And, Kendrick Lamar, I think, does the same. That's why you wait for their entire projects. It's not just a single.
Right. And they don't put themselves really in the media.
You don't think so?
No, not really on like social media.
Oh, social?
Like if you look at like Kendrick Lamar, he's not every single day like some of these people are sitting there with the buffoonery jumping around like, hey, look at me. He just is very an artist years ago, right? Before we had social media, before we really had the internet booming. You would, as a kid, you would sit down and you would actually just fantasize and just use your imagination how this person was. And that's what made the music more common to you, because you would actually sit there and grow with the music because you're using your imagination instead of seeing the full picture.
That is right. That is right. It's just like reading a book, right? The book, to me, I'm a huge reader, but book's always better. Most of the time is better than the movie, because how can a movie ever be better than what's inside of your own creative mind?
You can link to it no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what's funny? We were actually talking about that. We were actually talking about when somebody goes to like a freestyle concert, right? Or just any kind of concert. You literally fantasize, like when you're listening to them, you remember the time when you were younger, and it puts you in a period. I always call it time capsule, because that's a time capsule. You know?
It is.
And that's what the kids are missing nowadays, because everybody just is looking at a post and it's gone the next day.
And you know what I can't stand? When you go to those concerts and everybody's holding up their phone. They're not even enjoying the concert. They're holding up their phone so they can be the first one on TikTok or Instagram or whatever to post it. Yeah, and I'm sitting there going, listen, let me just say one thing. If I'm paying like $100 or whatever it is for a ticket, I'm going to enjoy the artist. I'm not going to take the phone and just sit there all night. And I'm sitting there. All my friends do it too. They go there. They go to a concert. Okay, maybe a couple pictures or a little video. Okay, fine.
Right.
But but if you're there for 80% of the time that you're looking at it without,
you're missing it. You're missing it.
It's like
you're not in the moment, really. I mean, that's how I kind of feel about it. You're not in the moment. You pay for the ticket and you're looking at your little phone screen the whole time.
The whole time. I'm like, what are you enjoying? That's like getting a ticket to go see like, the King of England, and you're in the bathroom the whole time.
Yeah.
When you did the concerts back then, I mean, now, okay, you start off with the music and everything. And now, how did you girls actually get together initially?
Well, initially, I was working at a nightclub in Los Angeles, and I was working with another band, and we were actually opening for a group called Exposé, who had a like a club hit. So when I would go into clubs at that age, and I was working with my band at that time, Point of No Return was playing. And then it was, we saw how the people reacted on the dance floor. And so my band also learned Point of No Return for our sets, because why not, right?
Okay. Gotcha.
And one night, when we opened for Exposé, the girls came up to me and said, "We heard that you sing our song." And I said, "Yeah, we do." And they said, "Do you mind performing it?" And I said, I'm not going to perform it because you guys just did it. Why would I go up and do it? You know? And they said it would really mean a lot to us. It's a big compliment. So I went back and talked to the band and said, they want to hear us sing the song. Okay. So I did. And right after that, the show, I spoke with the three girls, and they informed me that the lead singer of Point of No Return at that time was Ali, and that she no longer wanted to be in the group.
Okay.
And they thought that I would be a good replacement for her.
Okay.
That's and amazing. So from then, just conversation started, and phone calls, and people were always calling me, and they had a deal with Arista Records, and so I talked to people from Arista, talked to Louis Martinet, who, as you probably know, wrote all of the first album and produced.
Yeah.
And just kind of things just started rolling, and I think that was in February of 87 or 86, I forget.
Okay.
And then by the following September, I was in Florida to record. Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
It took that long to get me to say yes.
How did it feel though, the first time that you got on stage and you realized everybody loved you?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I don't ever feel that that's automatic. I think it's something that you kind of work for.
Right.
Regardless of what band I was in or I'm still in.
Right.
You got to work for it. You got to go up and earn the smile. You got to earn the fact that people are singing back to you. You have to take care of yourself, and you have to present a good show, And when you go up there and you feel the energy, then you're like, yay, I'm doing something right.
You guys were, because I think I don't remember where I was at the time, but I do remember it was in the summer, I believe of 87 or 86, because my brother was the DJ. And when he's like, I remember him saying to me, because he would always tell me when he got new, he had the 12 inches, right? Back then with the turntable. So he would always pick something and say, yo, I got this new one. It's really good. It's a girl group. That's all he said. So I was like, okay, let me hear it. And the minute he put it on, I was like, yeah, they're really good.
That's great.
They're really good. Because he would always test me out because I was a female in the club. Right? So he would always want his sister's approval. But I remember coming up. Yeah. Oh, wait. Are you kidding me? My brother, oh my God, he tortured me with songs. Are you kidding me?
Really?
That must have been so much fun. You got to hear all the stuff first.
Oh no, it wasn't.
Listen, she still goes, ugh, when I start spinning.
Yeah, when he starts it too, he's like, babe, I got a new song. I'm like, that's good for you.
Flashbacks.
Yeah, because you know what it is? It's like 99% of my life is music. And it's not even my music. Okay. It's our show. It's him DJing. So every minute of the day, even when I'm working, he's, on the phone, like, babe, what do you think about this song? You know what I'm saying? And that's what my brother did with me with Exposé, because he was like, you got to listen to this one. It's a really good one. So I was like, oh, let's do it. So then he put it on, and then I was like, yeah, that's a hit.
We're always running around. Me and her haven't stopped. You probably could see in the background. We just never stop.
We don't stop. But you know what? When we brought up this freestyle thing and we started to engage in it, let me tell you, I enjoy it as much. No, I enjoy it more, because the songs that I hear, I'm not saying the songs that we get now are not good. I'm not saying that, but it was just a different era.
Yeah,
Okay?
but that's yeah.
You know, and that was my era that I grew up with. And I know that everybody on my Facebook who is my age, you know, I'm asking them to, you know, I'm sharing the show for tonight, and I knew they were all going to come on,
yeah.
you know, because like, what? You got what? I'm like, expose.
Yeah.
You know, they got a
Well,
little.
hello to all your friends. Thanks for coming in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can't name all
Big
of
shout
them.
out to Steve Kahn.
And
Join Beats.
Big shout out to Steve. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, you know, and all my girlfriends were all excited. They just like, really? You got expose? I'm like, yeah, I do. And we can also give a shout out to Scott Hazlitt. He was the former tour manager.
Yeah.
That is correct. Yes,
Scott. So
okay, so let's get back to Jeanette, shall we? Okay. So one thing I wanted to know growing up, because you know, you watch all the girls, right? Whether it was like, you know, the Spice Girls in the 90s or Exposé in the 80s, right? Who did the hair? Who did the hair?
Hysterical. Oh my gosh. Well, I'll give the credit to Aquanet.
There you go. That's my girl. That's my girl.
We just, I mean, that was the style then, right? I mean,
oh my God, girl. I could show you.
Being an Exposé, I have, you know, the little spikes and the hair and the, you know, but yeah, when we got into the group, Joy, Ann, and I would do each other's hair. We were on the road, you know, on the bus or whatever. And we had those, do you remember those little combs with the tiny little, with the teeth, with the tiny little, you know, room between it. And, you know, we take turns, you know, Joy would do Ann's hair, Ann would do my hair and whatever. And we'd wait until we had that perfect, you know,
that perfect
volume.
Yeah, I know.
Volume.
It was
and then, you know,
E thing, you know, it was right back then. It was like Sheila E. and Mariah with the big hair, right?
Oh my gosh! Yes.
Who else?
Lots of teasing going on, lots of hairspray. You know, because it had to hold up. You know, we were up there on stage and the lights and everything. The hair had to hold up.
You had no idea how much.
How did you guys even perform with all that?
You don't know. You don't know.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
if it rained, we got very upset.
Really?
Oh my God.
Would it frizz?
Oh no, it wouldn't frizz. It would just get all sticky.
Oh my gosh. When the rain with my hair, please, it just goes poof. You know,
listen,
automatic.
My hair is straight right now, but if I didn't put any conditioner in it or anything, it would look like Diana Ross.
Oh yeah. Mine too.
I
have to weigh it down with much product.
Yes, me too. But you know, it was either Aquanet or Focus 21.
I don't remember Focus 21.
Focus 21 was in a black bottle, and it had, you know, it said Focus 21 in pink letters, I think. That was our biggest thing back then. But okay, next question. Now, who took care of the get-ups, the outfits that you guys wore on stage? Did you have a special
designer? I think at that time we had, as we do now, we had people that would, you know, help us put stuff together.
Because they were always well coordinated.
They were well coordinated, but we each had our own individual style. You know, there are certain things that I'm comfortable wearing that Joy is not, and Ann, and you know, so the person that was helping us get our stuff together would always know what kind of things I would like and what colors look good on me, and so on with Joy and Ann. And we'd go into these big rooms with, you know, nothing but clothes hanging on racks, and that's Jeanette's rack, that's Ann's rack, that's Joy's rack. Go ahead and pick from those, and we'd stand together and take pictures and decide what looked best.
Yeah. You see, let me just tell you, because you think it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. Okay.
It's a big deal. It
is a big deal, because it was just like there wasn't that many like girl groups that not only looked good together, performed well together. Okay. And these three always looked good together. You know,
I'm just thinking though, sometimes I look back on the pictures and remember back in those days, everyone was wearing like biker shorts with half boots.
Oh God.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I was never, I wasn't the, you know what it was? I wasn't the fashion queen. My mother was. My mother was
cool.
My mother was more of, you're not wearing that.
Oh.
You know, things that I would try on. She's like, you're not wearing that. Okay. And then, you know, she
never mind.
Yeah, and then she would take me to JCPenney or whatever, and and she would pick out outfits for me to wear to school. And I was like, "Mom, I'm 18 years old."
That's great. That is great.
Okay, I'm just saying, I was like between the ages of 16 and 18, my mother would still dress me. It was insanity. Okay, so only until I was about 21, I think.
Oh no.
Then I went into the club and everything. Then then it was like, walking out the door and, out there, where you going like that? I'm like, I'm going to the club. See you later. Then it got so.
That's great.
Oh, you don't know me. Oh God. But so I also know that you also played a character in a movie. I don't know which one. Did you do any movie or something, like a stage performance or something?
I did. I was really this is one of the coolest things, and people still recognize me for it. There was a movie called Mi Familia, and it was a beautiful film about a Mexican family growing up in actually the area where I actually did grow up.
Okay.
And how, generation by generation, things change for everybody, and being an American changes for everybody. And at the time period that they asked me to perform in, they had me do Rosie Hamlin from Rosie and the Originals, and she was the singer of the song Angel Baby. Do you guys remember that song?
No, can you sing it a little bit?
It's just like heaven being here with you. You're like an angel, too good to be true. You guys know that song. Come on.
Oh my God. Did you?
So it was so much fun. It was a period piece, and I think it was supposed to be in the 50s. So I got this really cool, great makeup and this beautiful dress to wear, and hair, and it was a great time, actually. And I love, I'm proud of that. I'm very proud of that.
Is there anything?
And that's really me singing, by the way. I re-recorded the song.
Yeah, really.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hear that one. Can you send that to me? Okay,
I can send that to you. Absolutely.
Oh, I would love that. But is there anything that if you did you grow up with any kind of musicals or anything like that?
Gosh, not really. Not really. And in high school, our teacher took us to see Sweeney Todd.
Oh wow.
In Los Angeles. I know, and Angela Lansbury was actually in it at
that time.
And I fell in love to this day. I love the musical Sweeney Todd.
Oh wow. Yeah. Sweeney Todd. I haven't. Oh God, I saw that long time ago too.
Yeah, it's great. Such a great musical.
Yeah, but you can emulate those type of actresses and singers and stuff like that from those musicals and stuff. That stuff is breathtaking. Like her voice just before with Angel Baby.
That was lovely.
It's this is when it shows you it don't matter how many years go by, girl, she still got it. Okay.
Oh my gosh, please. I used to sing that with my guitar. My dad played guitar, and he used to play that when I was a little kid, and that was our song. He'd play Angel Baby and I'd sing it. So it was kind of, when I was in the studio, it was very emotional, kind of full circle moment,
Yeah, okay. So you're the one of three sisters.
Both of my sisters have beautiful voices. They both hate being on stage, though.
Oh gosh. Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
You never got them on stage?
I've gotten them up on stage before, but they don't. My older sister says she has horrible stage fright, and if I have my younger sister on stage with me, we just get the giggles and we can't sing anything. So we used to try and sing in church together, and the priest used to throw us out all the time because we'd be cracking up, in the middle of the service. We'd look up, Father Dominic would look at us and just point to the side door. He'd make us go sit in the garden until we calmed down. We just thought everything was funny at that time. I don't know.
Just the fact that you are one of the groups that I grew up with that had such great, you guys had such great, charisma, and you had such great feeling. It's like when you guys performed, you were really performing for the crowd. You know, you just weren't.
I think so. I'd have to agree with you. All three of us, Joy, Anna, and myself, had each been in numerous bands prior to coming together and being
Right.
Exposé. So, you know, we were, I guess, you know, working on our craft at that point.
Right. Yeah.
You know, not together, but separately. But by the time we did get together and learn choreography and all that stuff, all that energy was just natural to us. I think
Right.
we're already at that point we're all comfortable being on stage at that point.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like they meshed well. You know, you could feel the camaraderie with them on the stage.
Say they were very in sync.
Yes.
And you could say basically because that's what you're trying to get out. They're very in sync, and when they're in there, they're very engaging with the audience. So basically, the audience felt it.
You can also say present tense because I think it's still the same with us. I think we're having more fun than the audience, and I think we have the best seat in the house all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Just being up there and watching the audience and watching them dance and watching them enjoy themselves. It is so much fun.
It is
so much fun.
Weird. People don't realize, like, when they perform, is that the stage is so bright, right? So when we're performing a lot of times, we can't really, we could see the people, but we're so focused into our craft that when everybody is dancing to everybody's groove, we're still doing it, right? When our set is done, we go, wow.
That was good.
That just happens so quick, right when you get off stage.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, great show. And you'll be like, you were on the show for about like 20, 25 minutes set, like a 15, 20 minute set, and it would feel like it was just 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. You're right.
So
it goes by so fast.
That's something that, like, I always, and I wish she could experience it, but she isn't I'm a DJ, so I'm used to it. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, with the set, boom, 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 boom. He's on there. He goes, takes the mic, done. And everyone's like, wow, the show was great. And you're like, wow, I don't even know what even happened.
But I really, you know,
seriously, how many shows can you mention that you remember?
No. Yeah.
You do like hundreds of shows, and then you maybe remember.
We do. We do remember, though. We do. We remember, you know, people. Yeah. Things still happen sometimes that make us remember the show, you know.
Right.
You know, Joe will smack me with a microphone by accident, you know, I'll go down. We remember those.
You know, there's always something that actually stands out that makes you remember one thing.
So listen,
exactly.
All I'm saying is just the shows always go so quick after we're done performing. So sometimes you want to remember like a scene, and you're like, oh, how did I do that? And it's like, wait a minute.
Right. Like recently we were doing this the show, and I had worn a new jacket. It was the first time I wore it on stage, and I was doing something, and the sleeve of the jacket actually got caught on like the side of the jacket. And so I couldn't move my arm, you know, and we're doing all this choreography and my little arm's just stuck. And I was just laughing so hard, and Joy and Anna are looking at me like, what's going on? And I actually said it to the audience. I can't move my arm. So I'm going to have to go off stage for a minute.
Just for a minute.
And get untangled before we go into the next song. But it was just so funny, you know. I had this little arm that couldn't move.
You know, like out of all the places that you've gone, is there any place that you have not performed yet that you would like to, or no?
Oh gosh.
Because like everybody always say, I'm going to go to Carnegie Hall. I'm like,
I know, right?
Right?
I mean, I think of our type of music, and I think, you know, I don't know. We've really kind of hit everything. We've never been able to perform at the Red Rock Amphitheater, which I think would be really cool.
Where's that?
It's in Colorado.
Oh, wow. I never even heard of that one.
You haven't? Oh, it's gorgeous. There's a famous U2 concert there, like back in the
I did not know that one. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See, if I was a singer, I'd be like, I want to perform in Carnegie Hall, just like my mom.
Right.
You know,
your mom performed in Carnegie Hall.
She did, but my mom was like a opera singer.
Oh, beautiful!
She was in this, you know, big chorus or whatever, and they performed at Carnegie Hall. And she, you know, my mom would always say that, like, you haven't been anywhere until you performed there.
Awesome.
I don't know.
Also, and I don't know where this is, but there's also this cave. It might be in Tennessee. I'm not sure. So please forgive me if I'm playing the right thing. But there's this cave where they have concerts in, and you actually go and like kind of hike into the cave, and at the end, yeah, they have a stage inside this cave. I thought that would be kind of cool.
I want to look that up.
Think about the acoustics.
I know, it's great. They actually have a piano in there. It's weird.
You do that in a closet too.
No, you gotta think about the cave.
I mean, let's be real. We could do it in the closet. I mean, it does have good,
No.
I'm just saying. I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, or in the bathroom when you close the door,
That's right. I'm thinking, I'm not quite sure, but I'm thinking our first album that the microphone may have been in the bathroom of the studio.
That's pretty cool.
They made it into a vocal room, I think. Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about.
It worked. Hey, it worked. Yeah.
Some awkward spots do have the best.
Well, there was a lot of people, a lot of rappers that record in basements, in like literally hood, like rundown basements.
Oh yeah.
They recorded and they made very big records.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter. It just matters to the artist and it matters to talent. And again, the producer and the person that's making the record, mastering the record.
What was his name? The gentleman that we just interviewed, Chris Brown, he made a farm shed into a studio.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He has musical donkeys. Shout out to Chris Brown. He was telling us if they like his music, they stick around. And if they don't, they walk away.
Well, there you go. Well, where I'm recording as of late, we the studio actually has a little pond by it, and we have frogs singing.
Are you kidding?
No, really. And at nighttime, the little frogs sing, and we call it Frog Song.
Oh my God!
Song Records, our latest record that we recorded.
Are you kidding me?
Songs. No, really.
Frogs, you got to send that one to me too. Oh my God,
that's great. Yeah, I perform or I sing and write with a band here, local band here, and it's called Last House.
Okay.
So that's our latest product that's out there. Mm-hmm.
Are you guys working on an album or?
Yeah, we just finished it. We just put it out actually. Yeah, it's very different from Exposé. It's not a dance record, but it's really cool stuff.
Oh, well, you got to send that to me too. Okay.
I will. Absolutely.
Okay. So obviously Exposé did take a hiatus, at one point. But was it any specific thing about like raising families or different projects or what exactly?
I think at that time, the three of us had just kind of really just tired out. We were constantly on the road. We didn't really have lives at all. And we were at that age where we wanted to. Mm-hmm. So I think at that point we wanted to call it quits. And we really thought that it was the end. We'd probably never work together again. And it wasn't out of anger or hating each other. It was just, we don't want to be on the road anymore,
Yeah.
So we did. We took time and we did all. Joy had already her daughter, but Annie and I started families. And it was, a good, wow. It was a long time before we came back.
Oh gosh. Well,
So,
there are a lot of, we had a few people that we've interviewed with that kind of, that kind of tenor, that, after, life does kick in. Okay.
Right.
You as much as you love music, okay, and you love the industry and stuff, there does come a point in time that, you want to fulfill that other part of your life, know?
Right.
And
we got married and had children, and then the music bug started calling again.
Of course.
And so it's a really great balance that we have now between our families and being able to go out and work and spend time together. And it's really I have an amazing life. I truly do. I'm so grateful, and the only reason I could do it is because people come out and see us. So thank you everybody for continuing to come to the shows and listening to the music and listening to the
okay, because they're touring, right? So they're going to Las Vegas, Fresno, California, Phoenix, Arizona, Philadelphia, San Antonio, Texas, right? I do not see New York on that schedule
yet. I think we're going to probably hit the East Coast towards the end of the year. So I'm hearing, and nothing confirmed yet. But if we do, are you going to come and see us finally?
If you come to New York, I will be there.
Okay.
I will be there. And I'll make sure I have a matching outfit.
I'll send you details on what colors we're going to wear that evening.
Because I saw that they were touring and everything. And I'm looking down and I'm like, I see June. Okay. July, August. Oh, okay, good. But I did not see New York. I didn't see. So I was kind of depressed a little bit because I was like, okay, you know what? Because like I said, the only concerts I went to were 2. Van Halen.
Good. That's a good one to go to.
Yeah. Right. Well, I'm talking, back, when it was David Lee Roth,
wow.
Right. Cool. Yeah. That's going back far. But I'm talking Van Halen, Pink Floyd, and what was the one that we just went to? Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Oh, okay. For Christmas? Was that Christmas?
Yes, it was. It was actually this Christmas that just passed. We went, and I went for the first time, and I love them, for all my life too. But I just never went to a concert. I did go to Michael Jackson though, his Bad Tour. I was there.
Okay, that's a great one too. That's a great one to see.
But you know what I noticed? Now I'm just thinking about it. It was always a concert that somebody bought tickets for and said you're coming. But when you were around, I think the more I was into the cover girls, and you, and probably Cynthia.
Yeah, Cynthia.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what it is that when it comes to the freestylers, there's so many good. You can't really rank the best because they're all golden. Okay? Because those type of styles, those type of singers like Exposé, they were just their own. They weren't the same. They were all freestylers, right? But they all sounded different anyway.
Maybe it's more of like a pendulum that swings back and forth, and you just kind of grab things that go along that you've heard, and old is new, new is old.
Yeah.
At different times, back and forth. Yeah.
I like her analogies, pendulum. I like, she's golden. You be within when we're together, right? Oh baby,
can't you see?
You are.
I want to be with you, baby.
I want to be.
I'm gonna be by your side.
By your side.
I want to be. She's a background singer too. It's great.
Listen. If you ever need a replacement, I'm here.
I will remember that.
Oh, you have no idea. Oh, no. I don't remember. You know what it is? I'm good at humming. Okay, I'm good at humming. Like, but there are just certain parts of the song that I do know. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Like, come go with me. Na, na, na. That would, for me, the Come Go With Me and Point of No Return were my favorites.
Yeah, they're great. They're definitely dance anthems for sure.
Right. Point of No Return. Oh, all the way. All the way. Seasons Change obviously was one of the biggest, right? Seasons Change for me was good, right? But Point of No Return, I don't know. Maybe it was the dance moves you girls did with it, or maybe it was just the vocals or whatever. For me, Point of No Return was the pinnacle of Exposé.
It just seemed, I think it is for dance and club, which is obviously what you were doing at that time, which is great. But I think when people talk about Seasons Change, they're saying, "Oh, that was our prom theme. I remember dancing at the prom." So it just depends on what moment in time it takes you back.
What was the process of that record?
Like Seasons Change?
Yeah, I'm basically like the process of making that record.
The entire album or just that single Seasons
Change? Just that single.
Okay, well, let's see. I believe that Arista may have been a little doubtful that we should put out a ballad because our 3 prior hits were dance songs. It was in the order of Come Go With Me, Point of No Return, and then Let Me Be the One, which was a great big crossover tune for us as well.
Yeah.
And they weren't quite sure about the ballad. And I think Louis Martinet, who wrote that song, really pushed it. I think he was kind of the force behind it. And he was right. And I think Clive Davis, somewhere along the line started to enjoy the song as well. And we took a chance, and it was a big chance to take, but it it just really did so well.
It really paid off. Yeah, it paid off.
And I loved it because, as you know, I said before, I'm a huge ballad kid. So it gave me a chance to sing a love song and sing a ballad and get all mushy. I loved it.
But again, I mean, you're touring, so you just let me know when you're coming into New York. That'd be great.
I will do. I'm going to hold you on that too.
I'm
going. Think I won't. Okay.
I'm going to do the hair just like it too. You have no idea. I'm going to put the big earrings on. You watch. I'm totally into Exposé. You have no idea.
All right, we're ready.
So again, Jeanette Jurado. Did I say it correctly?
If you're gonna say it like in English, it's Jurado. If you're gonna do it with the Spanish accent, it's Jurado.
Jurado.
No, you didn't say it right.
Jurado.
No, you said it like avocado.
You have to roll the R and you have to make the D sound like a TH.
Okay.
And of course the J like a let's try.
Jurado.
Ooh, that's perfect.
I know. It's the Greek in me.
Yeah.
Jurado. Mama, excuse me, can you give me some jurado?
Yeah. Very good.
It's a delicate dish and it's music royalty. Okay? Jeanette Jurado. There you go.
That's it. Thank you so much.
But thank you so much, Jeanette. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's been wonderful speaking with both of you, and I look forward to seeing you at our New York show. Yeah, we've done Radio City a couple of times. That's always beautiful.
Love Radio City. How about the Nassau Coliseum?
I don't think we've ever played Nassau Coliseum.
Okay. But again, thank you so much, Jeanette.
And everybody, thank y'all so much too as well for tuning in to the Freestyle Sunday Spectacular.
There you go.
So much.
Peace out.
Thank you.
Take you back.
Tune into the Sunday Freestyle Spectacular every Sunday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard.